Hey guys, Steve Welch here, Beeman Toyota in Nashville. A few of you guys have asked this, and this is something that's really cool, and I've done a version of this for my Fact of the Day channel as well. But question is you have a dealership or a tire company, wherever, telling you that it is time to change your tires. Well, how do you know when it's time to change your tires? Well, there's actually a couple ways that you can tell, and I'm going to show you guys this here for you here. So I'm going to show you a new tire here. So your new tires range somewhere in tread depth, they'll range somewhere between a 9 usually and about a 14, depending on the aggressiveness of the tire in that. If you have this tool, you can always kind of look and find out. You get your greens, your yellows, and your reds to find out what your when you should replace it, right? So these things cost about $5 or so, a little bit less sometimes. So what you do is you put this into your tread like this, press this down, or you can have it pressed all the way and then just kind of come back. But I always double check that tap there. When you come off on this tool, you'll be able to kind of see, and I'm hoping you can see that there, that this one's sitting right at 9. This is a brand new tire. All right, I've seen people recommend replacement on tires that were at 7s. There's absolutely no point to do that unless you have like a dry rot issue or some other issue with the tire. By the way, if you get something in the sidewall of your tire, chances are whoever's looking at it will tell you it cannot be replaced if it's in the side, or it can't be repaired if it's in the sidewall. If it's in the tread, if it's too close to the sidewall, they'll tell you the same thing. But if it's in the tread itself, you usually can have that repaired, plugged, patched, whatever. So that is something to definitely note, right? So if you also want to look here, you can see on the inside, and I'll kind of look at it here too, on the inside of your tire right here, you have wear indicators. All right, so the wear indicators will also tell you when it is time to replace that tire. The other thing that you wanted to do is obviously, so here, and here's what I'm going to tell you too. So on that gauge, if you look for when you should replace the tire, it should be somewhere, usually not less than 230 seconds to replace the tire. You don't want to get slick before you replace it, right? So not less than 230 seconds. Well, if you look on that gauge, obviously this particular gauge, and a lot of them are white, but this particular gauge has the red there, and that's from 330 seconds down to 0, of course. And then you have the yellow, and that's from 3 to 6. If you don't want to buy this gauge just to see if you need your tires, which tires are expensive, so maybe you do, but if you don't want to buy this gauge just to see, and make sure that you're not like going into this tread here, because if you go into that tread, you're going to have a little bit extra thickness there. See, that shows a 7. Right, you got to go into the groove, by the way, when you're doing this. So but if you don't want that, you should start thinking about replacing it at 430 seconds. What's 430 seconds? Well, if you see a quarter, George Washington's head to the edge is 430 seconds. So if you turn this upside down and drop that in, you can kind of quickly see if you're at Washington's head. So 430 seconds is when you should start thinking about it. 230 seconds is when you should definitely change it. If you see here, here's your penny. 230 seconds is, you know, if you see just to Lincoln's head, that's 230 seconds. So those two things are definitely very good tools that you can use to obviously check if you don't want to actually go out and get you a tool like this to actually check your tires. So now, there are reasons that somebody will tell you to replace a tire that has more tread on it than what I've just showed you. So the only thing I'm showing you here is, obviously the tire needs to be safe, of course, but the only reason I'm showing you that is if somebody says it's wore out because the tread is wore down and you're at 430 seconds, 430 seconds is not necessarily wore out. Now your braking distance will increase, things along those lines if you have a more worn tire in like wet or slippery conditions or that. So definitely you want to consider that when you're looking at replacing your tire. You also want to consider the age of the tire, considering what you're doing with the tire, how far you're traveling. There's a lot of stuff to consider with the tire on whether or not you should replace that tire. Definitely consult a professional on it. But a lot of times there are some people out there that'll just tell you your tire's worn out, and it'll just say that the tread's worn out. Well, that's an easy way to find out how much the tread is wore down, and to see if maybe you can last till the next service to replace your tires. maybe not. Also, know that if you buy a warranty tire, sometimes you can have a manufacturer that could actually kick in a little bit to warranty a tire if it doesn't last as long as it should. So one of the reasons I always suggest going to the same place every time to get your tires, as long as you trust that person, or that place, then if you go to the same place when you're replacing your tires, they can actually look up the last time they replaced the tires, things like that, and maybe they can get you a little bit of money back from the manufacturer towards your next tires if those tires that you have wore out prematurely. So definitely take a look at that and see what you guys think there. But just showing you a little bit about your tires. Steve Welch, Beaman Toyota. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.